Ready is ready.
There we go. The
All
floor is
right,
yours.
fantastic. You know, I love you, 9, you 10, you 11. No, not 11 yet, almost. You're just here on time. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have an agent who is coming into the real estate business. She's been a flight attendant. And so uh, the last 3 Zoom calls, I said, you know, and she was on like 5 minutes early. I turn my Zoom on usually early. She's on like 5 minutes early. So the third time I said, you know what, Wendy, I got to tell you is that I am so impressed. I says, you show up early every time. Most time I'm waiting for some people. So she said, I'm a flight attendant. She says, early is late. I said, yeah, you got that right. Early is late. Anyway, well, listen, good to see you all. You know, I just thought, Lumi, thank you for having your camera on. You know, I even though you're eating, I love it. I love, what are you eating? What is it you're eating?
Some oatmeal.
I was
Warm.
gonna say,
It's cold today.
warm, yeah. I'm in South Florida. It was 57 this morning walking the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in Central Florida?
St. Cloud, Central Florida. Yeah.
St. Cloud. Yeah. What's the temperature there today? Do you know?
I don't even know. It was in the high 48, I think it was this morning. Yeah.
I used to live
We
in
were at the
Clearwater.
gym today and we had to run outside today, and that was not, I mean, everything was just frozen.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I used to live in Bel Air Beach, Florida, which is just below Clearwater Beach, and every now and then it would strike like that in the 40s, but not very much. But you know, so when I moved South Florida, it's amazing. Just a couple hundred miles, it's you know, we were 57 low this morning. You know,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Anyway, well, listen. What? Go ahead. What?
It's supposed to be colder tomorrow, so.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I was walking the beach this morning in a sweater. I didn't. Anyway, good to see you all. If you can turn your cameras on, I don't care what you look like, and neither does anyone else, because we see right through all that anyway. Even if you're beautiful and all made up, we still see your beautiful heart. If you're not made up and you look like I do, I didn't even shave this morning intentionally. I said, I'm going to be chilly. I'm going to enjoy this. We don't care. We see through to your heart. So turn your camera on if you can. Wow, we have Stephanie with us this morning. Good to see you. Everybody, hey, I'm gonna just quickly get ready to unmute your mic. Yang, what do you want out of the meeting today? Yang, what do you want out of the meeting today? What do you want today? No, oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, what do you want today?
What do I want?
Yes.
I want money.
You want money?
Yeah.
Oh, you came to the right place. Good. Olivia, what do you want? Olivia, what do you want today? Olivia. What do you want? You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can now.
Good to see you. I want to say I missed your beautiful smile because I came by the office a couple days. I missed you, and I wanted to just let you know that I really appreciate it. I was looking forward to this morning call. I really loved last week. You know, you were really inspirational with the book, and a lot of great quotes. So I got some great nuggets last week. You just masterminding. I don't have anything in particular. I did go. I wanted to let you know I finally went to the Marketing Madness yesterday. And it's been I'm embarrassed to say it's been so long since you know, you told me to go to one of those. I finally went, and I brought my colleague Susan. I don't know if she's still on this call. Yeah, Susan. Hey,
Susan O'Rourke.
Sue, yes. So we went together, and then we went to some fun houses. It was like a treasure hunt yesterday of multi-million-dollar properties.
And you know, look at that smile, folks, and look how authentic she was. She just right away just admitted that she didn't pay any attention to me for how many months ago did I tell you? 6 months ago?
It was a long time, and I'm embarrassed to say, but I wanted to let you know because you are my inspiration.
Well, I'm glad you went, because, you know, you've all heard it from me before. My mentor, as a 23-year-old kid entering the business, told me, Fred, I wanted you to tell you something. You're going to be the same person you are today, 5 years from today, except for two things: the books you read and the people you meet. Right? The books you read and the people you meet. And I took him at his word, and I did as much as that as I could, and it paid off greatly as a 23-year-old kid. So yeah, I'm glad you did that. Fantastic. Okay, so you're here to network, and you're just here to you know, provide some inspiration and get some inspiration. And really, what I'd like to do, the word inspiration, you know, my great friend Frank McKinney, and I've had him on a call before, and I ask you to go to frank-mckinney.com and buy in the post. I'll show you is to buy his books for holiday gifts, because every time you buy a book from Frank McKinney, first of all, it'll change your life. There's no question about it. Every single one of them I've read, 8 of them, 9 of them, they're life changing. But more importantly, every time you buy a book, you feed 200 meals in Haiti at his nonprofit. So, you know, what he says is his one book is, you know, about aspiration is, and by the way, Annabelle, get ready to share that website too, Frank McKinney. Put that in the chat if you would, frankmckinney.com. Buy his books for Christmas, because his one book, Aspire, is all about this. Is it's about, and he says he keeps writing books because he's trying to figure out why we can't consistently stay motivated or on one path, and yet a guy that has built 42 multi-million-dollar mansions at an average sales price of 15 million says that. So that's why you need to be on this call, and I'm glad you're here. But one of the things he points out in Aspire, and that's a great book to get anyone in your Christmas list, your Hanukkah list, your holidays list, or whatever it is that you celebrate, is he says that the problem is that motivation and inspiration, you know, motivation washes off on the shower every night. Inspiration is more like a sunburn. It'll stick around, but it'll only stick around, and it looks good, you know, that, oh, you got some sun and it's hot, but you know, it goes away after 3 or 4 or 5 days or a couple of weeks. So, and he said, but it's all about aspiration, right? So you're here because you're aspiring. You went to that meeting yesterday, finally, because you're saying, hey, I aspire to do more. And I think from the call last week, I think I know you did. You're one that said you're going to participate in the December challenge. So good for you. You know, that you went there yesterday. I'm so glad, and that you were authentic and vulnerable and admit that, hey, I didn't pay attention, but I finally paid attention. Good. All right. I love you. I love you. Okay. Hey, what do you want, Brenda? Rosa? What do you want out of the call today? What do you want out of the call today? I'm here to deliver. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Hi, everybody. I want economic independence. I want to be able to have. I'm a very active person, so I don't want to come down. I just want a little bit in my future to be more slow, but continue working in the money and helping people. I'm a helper, so
okay,
that will be good for me if I'm getting older.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And whatever you tell me you want, I'm going to give it to you today. Okay. Because Ying said money. I'm going to give you some money today. What you just said, I'm going to give that to you. Olivia, we're going to give her what she wants. Anybody else? What do you want today that I can help you with? What do you want? What do you want? Let's see if I could snap my fingers and give it to you. What would you say you want? Susan, what do you want? O'Rourke. Hey, welcome, by the way. I'm glad you're
30 minutes with you.
You got it. My calendar link, Annabelle, put my calendar link in the chat. And Susan, don't take 30 minutes, take 45 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Annabelle, put my calendar link in there, okay? Ken, shalom. Shalom.
I want to
peace to Israel. Peace to Israel.
I want to talk to you about a commercial deal.
Okay. Click my calendar link. You know, grab 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Is it if it's real urgent, you don't see anything available, let me know. Just call me, okay?
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty big thing, so.
Oh, cool. Well, hey,
yeah.
I think I have some openings this afternoon. Grab 15 minutes quickly. All right. Matter of fact, I just took one with an agent, for his first commercial deal, 1.6 million. You know, and he used the public pricing model. So good. All right. So I'm going to help you with that. Anybody else? What do you want? And I'm going to get rocking and rolling here. Anybody? Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to share my screen. And I'll tell you, I had a breakdown 2 days ago, an emotional breakdown. None of you came to my rescue. I I put it in. By the way, these are the people that have volunteered for Kathleen. I'm not sure if Kathleen's on. If you are, shout out. Kathleen, Chris Larson, Jill Goldman, or Jill Kravitz, Olivia, Judith, Armando, Debbie Weller, Jolly, Aaron Jolly, and then Karen, Kerin. Karen, are you on the call? Because you didn't show up. You know, when I tagged you, you didn't pop up in the. So I want to make sure you're a member of the Mind Body Mastermind. Annabelle, put the Mind Body Mastermind link in the chat, because if you're not a member of the Mind Body Mastermind, please do that. But this is what I want for you all today, right here. All of you can see my screen. I want you to shed that skin. Okay, that's what the December challenge is all about. I want you to shed everything that's truly holding you back, because all the things that you ask for are already inside you, but how do we get them out, right? The kingdom is within us. How do we get it out? And I love this image. I love it. When I saw it the other day, I said, oh my gosh, that's going to be, this is what we need. So the ones that have volunteered for the project, I'd like you to speak up a little bit later if you can. This is where I said, hey, I'm having a breakdown, but no one came to my rescue. You know, because I think it was hidden in the thing, but oh no, here it is. Oh, this is the one. I think it was. Well, anyway, I don't know which one it was. No, I was speaking. Here it is. I said, everyone, crash and burn are a natural experience, but all based on BBS, bad belief systems. Bad belief systems. You know, I'm doing this work on soul cancer. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I created the website soulcancer.org. When you get a chance, just jot that down, soulcancer.org. Bad belief systems is what causes us from being healthier in every aspect of our life, happier in every aspect of our life, wiser in every aspect of our life, and wealthier. I mean, it holds us back from everything. I met someone on the beach the other morning. I give out business cards to a local website I have called bocalife.com. And the woman, you know, emailed me the day after. She said, hey, you know, I'm having issues with my 23-year-old son and all. It's all bad belief systems. So we're talking about that. So, you know, but my crisis was my meltdown on Monday. And, yeah, I think it was Monday afternoon. And then a revelation came, because when you pay attention to what's inside, the revelation would come. And then I think I talked about it somewhere else, about the revelation from that emotional breakdown. And what happened is that I got hit with about 3 or 4 things right in a row. Sunday it started, and Monday, and it was people that have been on this call, or either people on my team, or people that I, you know, with paid coaching. But a couple things had come up where people were giving up. They were giving up on the business. I actually have 2 giving up on a marriage. I had somebody else that I found that was going through something for the last year and never came to me. And I never see them in the Mind Body Mastermind, and they're a member. And I go, how did this happen? How did this happen? Why didn't you come to me before? And, you know, and let's talk about this, because there are solutions. It's all bad belief systems. So anyway, I look at someone like Frank Hopkins. Frank, are you on the call by chance? Frank is, you know, 62 years old, and and when you look at Frank's, you know, healthy level, oh my gosh, it's off the charts compared to a lot of other people 62. When you look at his happier level, you ought to see him with his grandkids, and he's happy. He's definitely wise. He's a wise guy. When you talk to Frank Hopkins, he's wise in business and in life and what have you. And he's always posting stuff about books, right? And then how to identify your enemies. So, folks, this idea of mindset, will set, and skill set, this is the breakthrough I had, okay? And the breakthrough I had when because I was putting so much will into the December project, trying to convince people they need to commit to this December project. And I had committed to it all myself. And it's work. It's 10 minutes, 3 times a day, reading the scroll number 1 out of The Greatest Salesman in the World. So it's a 30-minute commitment every day, right? First thing in the morning, mid-afternoon, and night before you go to bed. And I really was working on that for myself, and I was working on other. And then when I heard all these things come, I go, oh my gosh, I've been really not understanding my own stuff that I've been working on for all these years. I'm 70 years old. I don't understand it. Just like Frank McKinney, who's in his mid-50s. He's written 8 books to try to figure it out, and yet he's very wealthy, built 42 mansions at average sales price of 15 million each, and blah, 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 blah. So what is this? So it came to me, I said, oh my gosh, this really is a reminder to me of mindset. Here, let me go down here. Mindset, will set, and skill set. It's not to be messed with. It's almost like your soul. Mindset, will set, skill set. You may say, well, wait a minute, skill set is not emotional. Well, I could just replace this: mindset, will set, skill set. Your emotions should not drive your life. You can't. It's the caboose. Skill sets are a caboose. They're the caboose. They'll come. Like Olivia just said, she took 6 months, 7 months, 8 months to take some advice to go to there, and she really apparently got something out of it. But it's okay. I mean, that's what we do, all our experiences in life. So mindset, will set, and skill set. And I had my will so much out front since November the 27th, when I came up with the new December project with The Greatest Salesman in the World. And I realized I had that when I was a young kid, and when I, built my enterprise and my real estate portfolio, and then wind up losing everything, $5 million with a hedge fund, blah, 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 is because I had my will set up front. And every day you've got to just move these, you've got to really fight. And this is what this scroll number 1 is from The Greatest Salesman in the World. It doesn't say this, but I had my will set so far out front. I was saying, man, how did these things happen to these people that have been in my life, when I know what I could do for other people, that I've literally, some of the things I've accomplished, whether it was suicide prevention or whatever it was. And I said, how did they fall into this? And they're quitting because I don't have it straight yet. So I just said, oh my gosh, I have been teaching people, too much on these calls about the will set. It's got to keep being the mindset, folks. It's got to be the mindset. So Annabelle's going to post this in the chat again, the spiritual side of success. I want you to print this out. Keep it by your bedside. Keep it by your desk, and especially these 3 charts, because this is the way we were born, and this is the way we were sent here to live, and this is the way we got programmed with bad belief systems. And then here I was explaining to one of the people that almost quit on their marriage, but now we've come up with a solution, and we're really working it out. And the beautiful, beautiful people. And finally, I think the light came on, is that over here, this side of the chart is the thermometer. This size is the thermostat. I know I've gone over this many, many times with you, but I need it for myself. I'm talking to me right now, because I had this meltdown on Monday. It was crazy, the emotional meltdown. And I said, man, there's something wrong. I don't know whether I should be doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then because I had my will so far out front, but I know who I am. So as soon as I got that train back in order, the mindset, I said, wait a minute, God has been giving me these messages over 70 years, and there's no way I can ever not do what I do. So this here is what happens, is that when we live over here, we then start trying to fix things and go and mess around with the thermometer. Okay. But this side, the soul side versus the ego side, this is what you got to do. And then when you take this, and this just came to me when I was working with this couple, trying to save them from making decisions that was not the best for them, is that when you move this blue up, even a little bit, the red goes down. The more you move the blue up in mindset, the further the red will go down. As soon as you come over here and you start saying, man, I can't believe he did that to me again. She did that to me again. I can't believe I lost that sale. I can't believe. That's the ego. That's the ego. Because no matter how much you fail or disappointed, it is divine intelligence, divine integrity is trying to get you to be better than you are. Not better, get you to realize that you have everything already. It's all inside you. This stuff is not this stuff here you achieved. This stuff here is your world that you created by your bad programming. This is the world this is who you really came here as, and this is what is possible. But man, I had that will set, and guess what happened? When I moved that will set up, this came down, and I wasn't real. I wasn't real. I was living in my unreal world. Right. And so I had to get out of my monkey mind, get back over to my goal mind and say, what am I trying to accomplish with this community? What am I trying to accomplish with trying to help people, be healthier, be happier, be wiser, be wealthier? So it was really a breakthrough for me the other day, my own breakthrough. So I said, man, I get it. I finally get this. I've got to not ever let the will, and I got to make sure I don't communicate. So if you want more money, Yang, you don't have to will more money. You just have to realize you've got all the wealth you need and it's inside of you. And you just got to set some goals, because over here, I don't know if you see my mouse moving to the far right bottom corner. Does this show my mouse moving? Someone say yes or no. Does it show? Annabelle, does this show me moving my mouse?
Yes, myself.
Yes,
Oh, good. So over on the far right-hand corner, Ying, you just have got to have focus on your goal mind. And set some goals. The mind will not work on the reverse of an idea. So the greatest salesman in the world project is what you need. You need to commit to that project in December, because it will radically change that mindset that you have. And, the scroll starts out, today I shed my old skin, which is too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. If you don't have enough money, that's mediocrity, because we live in a world that money's necessary for freedom, and money's necessary for doing that you want to do. And what is man's failure? The only, there's millions of definitions of success, but there's only one definition of failure, and this is what the scroll number 1 teaches. What is somebody's talk about the definition of failure? What's the definition? Who's working with the scrolls? What's the definition of failure? Okay, I'll give it to you. I'm trying to pull it out. It is the inability to reach what you really want. It's the inability to reach your goals. Now, a lot of times the reason we don't reach our goals is because they're only thoughts, right? They're not in writing, and we're not committed to them. And we don't know why we're asking for what we're asking for. So, Ying, what you got to do when you say, I want more money, you got to say, you know what? I'm wealthy already. And because this is in your soul. This is who you really are. There's no scarcity over here on this side. There's none. There's none. And so as you stay on this side, and when you go through the December challenge with me and you post on there and you intentionally show up with that project, the greatest first, the project is here. Let me go back here. The project is, and as I said here, by the way, this is another transformation one that I love this morning. I found this. I just love that. That's what, Ying, this is what I want you to do money wise, right? Boom, enough of that. Enough of that not having enough money. So the project is one, you're going to it's up here on a pin post when you come in here. And I even talk about the commitment of the amount of time. I won't take time. Here it is. This is the one. Okay. So you have 168 hours in a week, Ying, 12 hours per day for personal care, eat, sleep, drink, bathe. Now 84 hours remain. So that means you have 336 available hours for the month, 12 hours a day, to really, to yourself, right? To work, to pursue your goals and whatever. So give yourself a gift to experience the greatest December of your life, a gift of 7%. I took time. Oh, this was on the beach. I'm sitting here with my calculator. I said, wow, if we took 7% of our time in this December and do this project, I promise you with my life that you will never forget this December and you will walk through a new door in 2024. You will not be the same if you commit to this project. And it's only going to take 7% of your available hours. Now, if you join today, it's going to be 8%, maybe 9% because you're 6 days behind. But it's a small commitment. And you're going to read or listen to the audiobook, Green Lights by Matt McConaughey. Then 2, which he talks about, the greatest salesman in the world saved his life, and the greatest salesman in the world made him who he is today, that he turns down $10 million, $15 million deals because he's so focused on who he really is, and he realized it was inside him, and he'll tout that greatest salesman in the world. And that's when I went through Green Lights, I went, oh my God, that's how I lost $5 million, by not remembering what I read as a young man, the greatest salesman of the world, that put me to the top of the corporate ladders when I was working in real estate with Coldwell Banker when it was owned by Sears as an executive vice president, from a 23-year-old kid and a 26-year-old sales manager and a 29-year-old senior vice president, managing people that had 25 years my senior, that they hated me because they were jealous. But that's what took me to the top. But what caused me to fall down the other side of the mountain once I achieved a $5 million net was because I forgot the principles of the scroll. And I was working with my will set so much. And then when things started crumbling, instead of working with my mindset, a will set, I saved the company and I wound up losing it anyway because I was working all in will set, not my mindset, which I wasn't as aware then until when I was 62. I took the real course and did a lot of the inner child work. And the real course is in here in Boca Raton. And I've had only 1 or 2 people signed up for the real courses in Boca Raton. And it will radically for the rest of your life, change your life, change the life of your family and everything else. So please commit to the December challenge for your life's sake. And Ying, I'll tell you, this time next year, you will be earning 6-digit checks, or you will have earned a minimum of 6-digit income without a question. Your real estate license is a license to get wealthy, and very quickly. And when I say very quickly, I don't mean this year. In 2024, you're going to be a multimillionaire. But if you really show up and you pay attention, you do the greatest salesman in the world, I'll guarantee you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you will have enough wealth that will take care of you for the rest of your life. If you commit to 4, 5, 6 years to this business and really show up and hang out. I was talking to Lars Hindenburg yesterday. He's a big leader in EXP. And I said, Lars, and he's a real big leader in EXP, and he has I think 1,500 agents, and he was selling $5 billion a year, just crazy numbers what he does. And I'm going to be getting him on as a guest here. And I said, Lars, what did you commit to in the last 9 years? Because he got into the real estate business a little bit later, and blah 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 blah, in personal development. And he said, Fred, close to $1 million. Well, now he has a multi-million-dollar business. He has a real estate B school. He has a couple of other things which you're going to be hearing more about because I'm getting engaged with him. But I said, really? Wow, you're embarrassing me. I thought I spent a lot on personal development. $15,000, $20,000 a year. Got different coaches. I said, you got it. Wow. So anyway, commit to this. You don't need to have a, $5,000 a month coach to achieve the greatness that, because the scroll is talking about all the wisdom of the ages, right? And that's what this whole project's about. So green lights, because Matt McConaughey is so down to earth, so practical. I love the audio version. The audio version is 6.5 hours. The book is like 3.5, 4 hours because he explains a lot of things in the audio, and he's telling his own story, right? In the audio, I loved it. But the book has all the bumper stickers and has a lot of the displays and stuff. So do both. So that's the December challenge. Okay. Now, another thing I want to show you is this is Og Mandino's, that someone that started the Leadership Institute. Come in and take this free assessment. Again, it's free. So I want you to listen to this.
The true principles of success have been with us for thousands of years, and they've never changed.
I'm not on this earth by chance. I'm here for a purpose, and that purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand.
I can give you some great stuff you could post on Facebook and get a lot of likes, and people are there, oh my gosh, that's amazing, I can't believe you said that. It doesn't matter if we don't understand what we do after today.
You can acquire ever-increasing levels of ability to handle ever-increasing levels of responsibility with ever-increasing levels of ease.
So first thing we're going to want to understand is that we've got a little bit deeper battle than just making a decision, taking the action, and it happens. We've got some biology we're fighting here.
Henceforth, I will apply all of my effort to become the highest mountain of all, and I'll strain my potential till it cries for mercy.
I will strain my potential until it cries for mercy. If you're not crying for mercy, we need to have some work to do. And folks, can 1 or 2 little books do that? Yes. The answer is yes. It will get you on a path. Then you're going to start making the kind of money where you can afford a coach of $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, or $2,000 a month. Or you can afford to get on a plane and do what Krista Kohler just did. Went to Tony Robbins a couple times in the last year, and involved very heavily there. Because this is not a game of learning the real estate business. It's a mindset game of who you become. Business is not good or bad out there. It's good or bad in here. So this little project, and I'm asking you, I have 20 some people on the call, I have 24 people on the call. I've got, I think 5% that showed up and said that they would volunteer, or maybe, no, I'm sorry, no, 20% out of the 24, but out of all the people, 588 people in here, only 589. I have 589 now. Oh, by the way, thank you for those who've invited some of your friends and family to join, because I really am taking this to a level of where I want to see people in here talk about how they change their life, how to save that marriage, and not be in here and be around me for a year or so. And you didn't come to me and tell me you have an issues, because I can help you. I can help you, not because of any other reason, is because I have hung out with so many masterminds, my own personal experience, my own personal failures, my own personal in marriage, and then success afterwards, and then rescuing my ex off her hospice bed, and then till death do we part. It's all experience, right? So anyway, I am so committed to December, but not with my will, because that burned me out in 3 or 4, 5, 6 days. But with my mind and with my spirit and with my soul, I'm committed to this for you. And so I'm asking you to commit to yourself. You owe it to yourself. You were worthy of committing 7% of your waking hours. Not even of your waking hours, the 12 hours, I said, 7% of the 12 hours a day to this project and you will complete it, and you will never, ever, ever be the same. You will never be the same. People won't recognize you in a month or 2 months. And some of you, that's going to make you, not some of you, all of you, it'll make you a little bit uncomfortable at first, because the truth sets people free, but it makes others miserable. Because they're going, what happened to her? What happened to him? You know, and then especially when you start making a lot of money, you know, I had more friends drop off when I was very, 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 you know, reached the top of the mountain of millions of dollars worth of wealth. And, you know, I had a lot of people that were like, you know, I like that guy when he was, you know, it didn't make me outshine me so much. When I became a senior vice president at 29 years old and managing people 25 years my senior, you think they would have patted me on the back? Hell no, they didn't pat me on the back. They hated me because they chose me because I'd outshined every manager, and I did it in 3 years when I opened an office. And it was all with mindset, but didn't really understand all of it together and the inner child work and all the stuff that has to go together. And I really didn't have, you know, this year was just, this all came about in the last 3 years or so, because I really have focused and understood how miserable this is over here, who we really are. And a Course in Miracles had probably, you know, 60% of this was the power from the Course in Miracles to understand this. So anyway, I invite you to the December challenge. Anybody that's on, Olivia, you know, to talk about the challenge so far. And Olivia, have you gotten the book yet? The Greatest Salesman?
Yeah, it's always been on my bookshelf. See, these are these things, like I've read it's like meant to be sometimes that.
So you did you start reading it now?
Yeah, I also downloaded the other book you mentioned last week, Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, but put that one off. I'll tell you why, because the greatest salesman in the world and the green lights because it's so practical and how to become a multimillionaire and all the other things you want to achieve. So those two books for the month of December. But are you practicing the scroll 3 times a day now?
I need to work on that, so I'm going to work on that.
Okay, don't work. No. You don't need to work on it. Don't work on it. See, that's the will. That's the will, right? And that's what happens. And then we have the intention of, well, I'm going to work on it. Because as soon as your ego says, yeah, I'll work on it. What you have to do is say, okay, Fred, I believe. Because see, believe is with the mind, right? Fred, I'm going to believe you. And I'm going to do it in sheer faith. Because if you try to work on the 3 scrolls, you'll give up. But if you say, I believe, okay? Now, I'm not going to ask you to drink any Kool-Aid. You know, but seriously, believe in your own self that you deserve it. And do you want to be the greatest salesperson in the world?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you say that by faith, say, man, this guy's been around 70 years old, been around 47 years in the business. He climbed the top of the mountains. He's this, that, and I'm going to believe him. I am going to commit to that. And see, we go back to the old story, right? If I have a pen up, I'm holding an ink pen up, right? If I say, Olivia, reach out, try to take this. Try to take it. Go ahead, try to take this. Try it. Come on. Try. No. You're doing it. Don't. I said try. Try to take this.
Okay.
Try it. Go ahead. Try to take it. See, there's no try. I'm going to work on it. There's just belief, right? There's belief. So believe in the fact that the wisdom of the ages, right? That one book, and there's thousands of books. We read them, we go on. I read them, and it got me to the top of the corporate ladders. It got me to the top of the entrepreneurial prizes, my own nonprofit. It got me to, you know, very, very wealthy status, blah, 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 blah. But because I started working on things, is when I had to come down the other side of the mountain. Now I'm climbing back up the different mountain. So don't try, don't work on it. Just say, do I believe in myself? Do I believe that there's more to life? Do I believe that there's more peace, more happiness, more health, more wisdom, more wealth on the other side? Oh, not the other side, inside. Do I believe it's there? And if Fred's telling me that if I practice this December project, I will walk to a brand new door in 2024, you got to make a decision today. Do you believe me? Oh, you don't believe me. If you don't do anything with this and you don't participate in December, you just didn't believe me. And I'm not going to try and convince you with my will. I'm trying to convince you with my spirit, my mind, my spirit mind, that, hey, you deserve it. You're worthy of it. Here's a gift for you. Here's a gift for you. That doesn't come about lightly. The time and hours I spend in putting together these projects. All right. So the scrolls are absolutely the 3 times a day. I can't believe that already that, I've stumbled once or twice, right? When I was exhausted that one night when I had a kind of emotional breakdown, I couldn't read it. So I listened to it because at night you have to read it out loud. I said, I don't have the physical energy. I'm going to listen, right? So anyway, that's my case. I'm going to open it up to you all, ask questions. What's in the chat? Anything in the chat? Any comments? How many of you will commit to the December project? Put it in the chat. I'm committed to the December project. I deserve it. Anybody?
Fred, I have a question.
And don't do it out of pressure, by the way. If you want to wait and then put it on Mind Body Mastermind, say, hey, I'm in on the December project. Because if as a mastermind, if we do it together, that's where the energy comes. Go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What is scroll? Can you explain to me what that is?
Yeah. In the Mind Body Mastermind December project, the 2 books were Green Lights by Matt McConaughey and The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino, that was written in the 60s. That website that Annabelle just shared, she'll share it again, Og Mandino. That book was one of the most prominent books in the world as far as business, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And in The Greatest Salesman in the World, it is, about, well, I'm not going to go into all the detail, but in there are 10 scrolls that you practice. The scrolls, scroll 1, you practice for 1 month and you read it 10 times a day. Okay. I know, you read it 3 times a day for 30 days. Then you read scroll 2 for every day for 30 days, 3 times a day. And then what it does is it gets the information and it gets you to believe in yourself so much because it goes into the subconscious. See, every single one of us are where we exactly had our habits have taken us, right? Everything, if you don't have enough money, is because your habits have gotten to you where you are. So we're going to be a slave to habits. Every single one of us on this call are a slave to habits. We're a slave. Why not be good habits? And what this book, what the scrolls teach you to do is how to develop good habits. And it's, and get you to realize of what truly is on the inside. That's what, see, again, we are so deceived. We think we have to achieve something. We teach our children that. I had someone write me about their 23-year-old son and why they were so stressed and what he's doing with his life. Blah, 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 blah. We all think it's about this over here, the doing, the performance. We've been programmed with that. You may say, Fred, come on, a champion athlete, blah, 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 blah. Og Mandino, the author, Stephanie, of The Greatest Salesman in the World, was a man who was an alcoholic and ready to commit suicide. And then he stumbled one day he stumbled into church, and then also personal development, and realized we're not stuck with who we are, right? So the scrolls are a part of The Greatest Salesman in the World. So
Thank you, Fred. I'm so excited. I just bought it on Audible. It's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So super excited. Thank you.
And then you could download the scrolls right off of offline. You'll find a bunch of PDFs, but don't skip over and just commit to scroll 1 3 times a day. But read the book first so you understand what you're doing. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Olivia. You had your hand up?
I had a question. It's more like a mastermind question. It's kind of a little off topic, but like everything we do in this business, you have the mindset, will set, skill set, and everything. And then you're going throughout your month and doing the business. And like my biggest challenge right now is just dealing with personalities of clients and I'm sure I'd love to hear everyone else's feedback because I like how someone said yesterday in the Marketing Madness, I'm an unlicensed therapist. I thought that was so funny and it really stuck with me. But I've had like people that are just like not patient at all. Like think transfers take like at least 24 hours sometimes, and they just don't believe, you know, the professional on the other end that's just trying to do their job, and they're yelling at people. People are calling you 3 times in a row because they think you're ignoring their call, but you're really just in the middle of something else. And I'm just trying to like deal with that. And I'm not sure how everyone else does. And I feel like if it's at this level happening, which is not like a lot of transactions, but when you grow, it's only going to get worse. And then also it takes a toll on your mental being, because you're just like your phone is constantly getting notifications. I don't know if anyone else really thinks this too, but like your phone is constantly buzzing all the time, and it's kind of like a stress that happens in your life too, that
Well,
repetitive.
yeah. Can I tell you something? It's going to
Yeah.
get worse. It's going to get worse because divine intelligence and divine integrity is faithful. And if you choose this path after you read The Greatest Salesman in the World, and you ask yourself, am I going to stay in it or quit? If you're going to stay in it, it will make you, because divine intelligence, divine integrity, this is one of those careers that will make you turn you into either a quitter, or I have to tell you, all of that I've accomplished emotionally, spiritually, and everything else in my life has become a lot of, I've allowed the real estate business and people like that make me, right? And what happens is, are you familiar with stoicism, being a stoic? Do you understand what it means? So I just read an article, because I read all the time. The one of the head people in Chubb Insurance. Now, Chubb Insurance is worldwide, right? Chubb Insurance is huge. It's a woman, and she had in there. I didn't post it in Mind Body Mastermind because I had too many posts going. Eventually, I'll post it. But she was saying what prevented her from really appreciating her position, right? And a lot of it was, and again, it was the same thing. It was making her into a bigger person. So what you got to do is embrace this. Scroll 2 is all about love. You're not loving people enough. Now you go, wait a minute. And for me to say that to you, because I know who you are, right? That smile, you love everybody, but your love is a little bit more, not as it's not as it's not as complete as you think it is, because a lot of it's over here on the ego side, not the soul side. And that's where Rhonda Burns, who wrote The Secret, wrote her other book called The Power, which is all about love, right? And how you get everyone, because we attract what we're putting out. Now you may go, wait a minute, Fred, I didn't attract that seller telling me I was an idiot. I didn't attract that seller cussing me out. I didn't attract, but your light has got to be bigger than that. See that anytime you're getting that, these are people that are living over here, Olivia, right? They're living in, this is dark over here. This is dark, right? Over here is light, full of light. So those people that are giving you that are those people that are living over here. That's all. And when you understand them and you commit to your mind, The Greatest Salesman in the World, and all the other things, the mastermind, you none of that can bother you. None of that can bother you, because if you're living over here, but when you're living over here with them, then you're going to compete with them, right? You're competing for appreciation. They're competing for their ego, right? Over here, you'll learn how to get them to cooperate. And I just had to sue a seller. I just settled a year and a half of lawsuit, and what I did for them was miraculous. And I'm talking about, a lot of money, right? And I had to sue the seller, but I did it in peace. When you say, how do you sue someone in peace? Well, I just followed the law, because what they did, they were all over here. I was all over here, and they misread it. My kindness is weakness, and they try to cheat me out of a really big commission, right? So I love the person. I've written him and said, hey, one day I hope that you'll come, because I really appreciate you, and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, so welcome that, because this is a career that can make you into such a bigger person than you are today. It can. And you do want to become a therapist. You do want to become someone that people look to, that, and they'll want to do more real estate with you. I just had a couple yesterday call me and did a multi-million-dollar house, and they said, Fred, we want to talk to you. And I've helped them when they were having relationship issues and all the other kind of stuff. And I got to be careful. This is public. They'll know who called me. I don't care. I'll tell him in front of his face. He knows it. He is he's like, oh my gosh, he's just I don't know. He's not a nice person as far as being cooperative. I got to learn a lot about him, and I appreciate him because he's a very wealthy guy, very smart, but he's a lot over here, and he hasn't been taught this stuff. And so the more I've been a light to him, and I'm talking now, I don't know, 15-year customer, so, and we're so different, the man, but the wife just knows this stuff now. So anyway, let it make you a bigger person, because we can sit here and talk about side stories and all this other kind of stuff and how miserable people can make you, and miserable sellers and miserable buyers. But I'll tell you, you commit to green lights, and you commit to the greatest salesman in the world, December. Come January, you are going to see some magical things happening. I promise you, because nothing changes out there. Nothing changes out there. It only changes up here. That's all you need. That's all you need. And those people I feel like I'm an unlicensed therapist. They're not the people you want to hang around. You want to hang around with people like Og Mandino. You want to get on his site, and you want to take that assessment there. And you want to, there's a lot of free stuff today in YouTube and stuff, right? But anybody else want to comment about that? Sorry about that. I know I get on these rants, but I love you. That's why. Go ahead. Anybody else? Let's just see the chat. What are the books? It's The Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino. And then it's Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. It's all in the Mind Body Mastermind. Whoever asked that, it says Zoom user. I don't know who you are, but Annabelle, put in the chat Mind Body Mastermind. They're on an iPhone, so I think they're on a phone, so it's going to be tough for them to get it. But if you just go to Facebook, Mind Body Mastermind, Fred DeFalco, join the mastermind. All this is in there. Judith, how are you doing? Did you get a chance to start the book?
Hi, everybody. Well, not yet, but I have one. I have
Good.
the Matthew McConaughey. I've been a fan of him for a long time. So I'm going to start the book probably tonight. But
Okay.
I wanted to ask you if there's a particular, I just ordered the other one. I remember my father passed like 20 some years ago. And he talked about, I remember I was younger, and he mentioned he read the book, the Og Mandino book. I don't have it with me, but I just ordered it. So is there a particular order on the books? Which one first?
Well, it's up to you. You could read them simultaneously, but the reason I like the Green Lights first is more the practical, and he brings up Og Mandino and The Greatest Salesman in the World and how it radically changed his life, right? But you don't have to. I mean, The Greatest Salesman in the World, the main thing is I'd like you to read, well, first of all, I'm glad you asked that. Read The Greatest Salesman in the World first, because it's a short read, number one. And then number two, you need the project for December. And that's I keep it by my bedside. I have it in my portfolio. I just made a copy. It won't show with the background. So, keep copy by your bedside and keep, in your portfolio, because you do it in the morning, you do it in the afternoon, and then you do it in the evening. And it's just 10 scrolls, and the month of December is scroll 1. Today I begin a new life. Today I shed my old skin, which hath too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. It's a 9.5-minute read. The scroll 1 is a 9.5-minute read. So when I said 7% of your December, so read The Greatest Salesman in the World first, because Green Lights could be a little bit more entertainment. But I'm just going to highlight a few things. Today I will savor the taste of grapes from these vines, and verily I will swallow the seed of success buried in each, and new life will sprout within me. And what he's talking about is the wisdom of the ages that he gathered and that the scrolls gather. I will not fail as for others, for in my hands I now hold the charts which will guide me through the perilous waters, which Olivia was just talking about, which only yesterday seemed but a dream. And then he talks about failure will no longer be my payment for my struggle, just as nature made no provision for my body to tolerate pain, neither has it made any provision for my life to suffer failure. Failure, like pain, is alien to my life. And then he talks about the profession of being a salesperson, is that how it is so, he said, if you were to pile the failures upon one another, I'm looking for the one, I have it, and because it talks about the good habits, but he said, if you take the, all the people that have failed in this profession, they would surpass the pyramids of the world, right? And our industry, now I have some people that are non-real estate, most of your real estate profession, but it's all industries as well. And we're a salesman in any way. A lot of people are deceived by the book. But this book is responsible for making multi-millionaires, corporate executives, changing people's lives, changing their marriages, changing everything, because we're all selling one way or the other, right? So the failure rate in our business is just, it's devastating because of what Olivia just said. We don't know who we are. Because we haven't done that work, inside out work. We don't realize we have all that power within us. And then you start meeting people that live in the ego, they'll bury you. They'll bury you, right? And we don't get the right training up front. We don't get the right mindset. I took an office, brand new office, as a 26-year-old sales manager, made it #1 in a year because I had a library there. If I got in your car and you were one of my agents and you didn't have a audio cassette series in there that you could check out from my library, then I go, hey, where are your cassettes? Because Zig Ziglar says your car, right, is a rolling university. How many of you run around in your car listening to music? Shouldn't do that. You should have something on that is feeding the mind set and feeding the heart. This is a beautiful time to live, right? So start with the greatest salesman in the world. Get into the scrolls immediately. Even if you haven't read the book yet, download the 10 scrolls. Read them all, just so you know what you get into. But the month of December, commit to scroll 1. Okay, commit to scroll 1 3 times a day. That's 30 minutes a day.
I'm sorry, I got lost. Which one do I read 3 times a day? What is
scroll 1? Scroll 1.
Scroll 1.
Yeah, Annabelle, can you grab that PDF quickly? The 10 scrolls that I put online there, or I gave I got the YouTube link, but then also the PDF. Do you have it, Annabelle, or do I need to find it quickly? It's in my. Hold on 1 second. Let me give this to you. Wednesday's meetings. I posted it last week, I thought, but maybe I did. Here it is. The 10 scrolls. 1 sec. Copy. Okay, Zoom. Come back to Zoom. Let me put it in the chat. Here's a PDF of all 10 scrolls. Annabelle, let's get that in Mind Body Mastermind as well. Okay, I was looking for the soul ego chart, but I don't see it. Viviana, that is in that I think Annabelle posted it. Annabelle, did you post the spiritual side of success? Oh, you didn't post that. Annabelle, post the spiritual side of success for Viviana, okay?
Okay.
I just posted the 10 scrolls, but the spiritual side of success, I've got it open, Annabelle, if you don't.
Is that the Google Drive?
No, I have it. The spiritual, I sent it to you on your WhatsApp.
Yeah, that's Google.
The spirit, yeah. Is that it? Did you find it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you, Annabelle. Thank you, Fred.
Yeah, okay. Let me just see the chat. So I'm glad I looked. Thank you. And Viviana, anybody else, speak up if you don't see me addressing your chat. And then the mastermind link is in there. And then Og Mandino's website in there. Take that free assessment in there. There's a free assessment in there. But get into the scrolls right away. If you're nothing else, commit to the scrolls, okay? All right, anybody else? Louis.
Should we get audio or like a hard copy?
Well, I'm an audio guy. We all learn different, right? you know, some of us learn, like I'm an Audible learner, right? I love audio, right? But the scrolls, you've got to have them printed, right? I have them both. I listen to them and then I read them. So it's up to you. I would do both. I would do the audio version, you know, on Audible from The Greatest Salesman, and then I would do Green Lights. But then I have both books as well, because the Green Lights book has all those bumper stickers he talks about. It's really a cool book. They're a really fun book. But he practices scrolls starting the day, and if you're in, please put it in Mind Body Mastermind. Say, hey, I'm going to do these 3 times a week. 3 times a day. That's 30-minute commitment because it's a 10-minute read. Now, if you're listening to the audio, you can do it while you're driving. But scroll 1, stick with scroll 1, okay?
Thank you.
And the soul cancer thing, the soulcancer.org is just a fun project I'm working on. Not fun, but I'm trying to really figure people out how we all keep, you know, have such challenges. So that's something you may want to look at as well. Okay, cool. I'm glad you're here. And if there's anything else, speak up. Please participate in the Mind Body Mastermind community. Invite some friends, because the more you participate in that community, the more you'll get out of it, right? Because you're intentional. And don't be afraid to speak up. And hopefully you'll be vulnerable and, you know, say, hey, I'm having an issue here. And anyone out there having this issue? I'm trying to put 2 couples together that are going through the same thing in their marriage situation, not to commiserate their misery, but both of them are trying to save it, right? So a mastermind is so important. And that's what it is when you start reading these books. Okay. All right. Super. I know we all had a 9:30 stop, and Tiffany's coming back.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome.